You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You can't handle the truth!
Well, we're giving you the Michigan Sports Truth, the show that reveals facts, truth, research, and statistics and never messes around. We lay down the entire truth about everything regarding your Detroit and Michigan sports teams, no matter if it's good or bad. No junk, no entertainment, no homerism, no coddling, no pop culture, no opinions, no shilling, and no fluff. Head over to our website at MichiganSportsTruth.com, follow us on Twitter at Michigan_Truth, and like our Facebook page, The Michigan Sports Truth. The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
And welcome to the postgame edition for Friday, May 8th, 2018. I'm Taylor Phillips, along with Louis Tenore. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. Also listen to us on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts via iTunes. A momentous occasion for something tonight, but it does not have to do with this.
That one is long gone!
Yeah, that Jason Kipnis 3-run home run ball is long gone, all right. As he delivered in the top of the ninth to propel the Cleveland Indians to a 4-1 win over the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park in the first of a 3-game series.
I love it!
And helps the Tigers' tanking system against their lousy and lazy and careless owner, Chris Ilitch. Yep, same thing like I've said before every night. Got a tank to make Chris Ilitch sell the team. That downs the Tigers to 30-35, 5 games back of the Cleveland Indians, who are 33-28. They improved to 33-28. For the lead in the American League Comedy Central Division, Tigers are 9.5 games back, and even though they're 3 spots back, they're 9.5 games back of the wild card spots. Next game is at 4:10 on Saturday, home against the Tribe. Mike Clevenger against Mike Fiers. That'll be another good one. Michael Fulmer and Trevor Bauer gave up a run each. I expected that to be a pitcher's duel. Like I said in my last post game last night, and I told the audience last night's win in Fenway was a fluke, and it proved to be with that 4-1 loss here tonight. So there you go. That's all you need to know. Also, a shout-out goes to 910 AM Superstation WFBF in Farmington Hills and Detroit, where Steve Neavling of Motor City Muckraker and Jeff Moss of the Detroit Sports Rag talked this morning about how terrible the mainstream sports journalism media in Detroit is and the sensitivity of our current president, Donald Trump, who is racist and a womanizing sexist, a sexual harasser. Clearly, he is. The news was over it a few years ago. I did not make this up. I have nothing to do with this. But man. Now, hopefully, Jeff is a frequent host with Steve every Friday morning at 9 on that new radio station. I think as far as I'm concerned, as of right now, he's just a one-time special guest host. But we'll see. But you can always catch it on 910 AM Superstation's Facebook page and in the Detroit Sports Rag group, which is closed. We also posted on our Facebook page, the Michigan Sports Truth. So again, shout out goes to 910 AM Superstation WFBF in Farmington Hills and Detroit for allowing Jeff Moss, especially on their airwaves, to talk with Steve Neavling of the Motor City Muckraker. Hopefully I can hear from them every Friday morning. So with that being said,
it's now time for the National Sports Report with Louis Tenore.
Take it away.
All right. So here we go. We'll start off with the baseball scores as usual. In the first game of the Subway Series of the year, the Yankees beat the Mets 4-1. Greene got the win, DeGrom got the loss, and Chapman got the save. And that's the Mets now lost 7 in a row. But it's not all good news, as Tanaka suffered soreness in both his hamstrings early in the game tonight and could be out for a while, could be out for a long haul. More information as it becomes available. All right, bottom 9, the Brewers are beating up on the Phillies 12-4 with a runner on second and 2 out. Barnes is pitching in. Hernia is at bat. But it looks to be a lost cause, folks. I mean, really. Right now we have a delay between the Cardinals and the Reds. The Cardinals lead the Reds 6-4. They did not give what inning it is. Takes a lot. Bottom of the 7th right now, the Astros lead the Rangers 7-3. One out, nobody on. Mickey Hugh is pitching, and Chew is at bat. And let's hope he does a bit more than Chew. Okay. To close here in the top of the 7th, the Twins lead the Angels 2-1. No one on, no one out. Presley is pitching in. Fernandez at bat. Bottom of the 6th, the D-backs lead the Rockies now 6-4 with 2 out and a runner on at first. Chapin is pitching and Blackman is at bat. In the top of the 3rd, the Athletics lead the Royals 1-0 with 1 out and nobody on. Montez is pitching in. Murnfield is at bat. Going into the bottom of the 2nd, the Dodgers lead the Braves 1-0. Hernandez, Forsythe, and Bueller is doing the bat. Bueller. Cubs over the Pirates early this afternoon, 3-1. Montgomery got the win. Kroll got the loss, and Stroop got the save. Giants over the Nationals, 9-5. Mortana got the win, and Strasburg got the loss. In the Battle of the Birds, the Blue Jays over the Orioles 5-1. Happ got the win. Cashier got the loss, and Tapira got the save. White Sox over the Red Sox, 1-0.
Wow.
Covey got the win. Sale got the loss, and Soria got the save.
Where was that?
Sox.
Where was that? Fenway Park or Guaranteed Rate Field?
Fenway.
Oh. Wow. The White Sox, one of the worst teams in the majors, pulling out a win in one of the most hostile environments in Major League Baseball currently. Yikes.
Well, you got to give them. Well, even the best, he's got to win once in a while. You know?
Oh, yeah. We need that. Thank you very much.
Right. Indians over the Tigers 4-1.
Thank you.
Bauer got the win. Green, that's Green with E at the end, got the loss, and Allen got the save. Marlins played the Padres 4-0. Smith got the win, and Lauer got the loss. Oh, boy. And finally, the Mariners edged the Rays 4-3. Gonzalez got the win. Punt got the loss, and Diaz got the save. All right, so now I'll check the standings, and they read a little bit like this.
What about the NBA Finals?
Oh, I was going to get to that after all the baseball information, then I'll do the NBA Finals. But I'll give a score right now anyway. Golden State now leads the Cavaliers 67-54, 9:31 to go in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
More on that at the conclusion of the notes. All right, so in the American League, well, surprise, surprise, the Yankees have now taken the lead. Oh, yes. At 41-18, that's a half game ahead of the Red Sox at 41-18, 43-21. All the rest are in a cellar dweller as the Rays are 28-34, 14 and a half back. The Blue Jays 15 back at 28-35. And the Orioles in the sewer at 19-43, 23 and a half back. Yowza. In the Central, the only decent team, the Indians, are 33-28, have a 5-game lead over the Tigers at 30-35. Twins are also 5 back, but they are 27-32. The White Sox 21-40 at 12 back, and the Royals 21-42 at 13 back. Also, Strasburg, the Nationals pitcher Steven Strasburg exited after 2 innings because of apparent injury. They're not saying of what. All right, now in the West, the Mariners are 40-23, a game and a half ahead of the Astros at 39-25. The Angels are 35-28, 5 back. The Athletics 8 back at 32-31, and the Rangers 27-38, 14 back. In the National League, tight race here again. Braves are 36-26, have a half-game lead over the Nationals at 35-26. Phillies not that far back behind at 3 back at 32-28. The Mets 8 back now at 27-33, have now lost 7 straight. And the Marlins are still the Marlins at 23-40, 13 and a half back. Why am I not surprised? All right, in the Central, a virtual tie between the Cubs and the Brewers. Cubs are 36-34. The Brewers are 37-25. But the Cubs lead by 3 percentage points, 600-597. Cardinals are 33-27, 3 back. Pirates 31-20, 32, 6 and a half back. Oh boy. And the Reds 15 and a half back at 22-41. Pittsburgh started off so well this year too. And in the West, the D-backs are 32-29, a half game lead over the Rockies at 32-30. Giants are moving along nicely at 32-31, just a game back. Dodgers have really picked up, now just a game and a half back at 31-31. And the Padres, well, rather mediocre at 29-36 and 5 back. Doable, but they need some work. All right, so now let's check the schedule for tomorrow's games, and we've got a plethora of them. Well, when it is Saturday, you know. All right, and the schedule starts off bright and early tomorrow for your June 9th, and the schedule reads like this. Leading off, the Giants play the Nationals at 12:05. 1:05, the Brewers take on the Phillies. 1:07, the Orioles take on the Blue Jays. 2:10, the Angels take on the Twins. 2:20, Pirates take on the Cubs. Your 4:05 games are the White Sox versus the Red Sox, the Royals versus the Athletics. Yeah, and 4:10 games, and we had quite a few of them. Listen to this. Indians take on the Tigers. Cardinals take on the Reds. Padres take on the Fish, a.k.a. the Marlins. The Mariners take on the Rays. Okay, so 15 games. The Astros take on the Rangers. The Yankees take on the Mets. And the Diamondbacks take on the Rockies. And at 9:10, the Braves take on the Dodgers. All right. Last night, before we left the air, we were watching Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and the Capitals pulled out 4-3 over the Vegas Knights. And it was in the last. It looked like with 6/10 of a second, Vegas had one more chance to pull off a miracle ending, but it did not happen. But congratulations to the Capitals. It took them 44 years to get there, to win the Cup, and they finally did it. And the Big O himself, Ovechkin, gets the MVP. Why am I not surprised? So congratulations. It's been a long time coming. All right, I got some other scores to mention here. WNBA, the Mercury lead the Sky right now, 37-20, 3:32 to go in the second quarter. It looks to be a lopsided victory. Continuing on, the Dream over the Atlanta Dream over the Las Vegas Aces, 87-83, and the Dallas Wings over the Indiana Fever, 89-83. And tomorrow is a light schedule for the WNBA, which is very unusual for a Saturday. And it goes like this. For your June 9th game, the Minnesota Lynx will take on the Connecticut Sun at 2 p.m. Interesting. Only just one game with a whole league tomorrow. That's very unusual. All right. So now we're going to go into MLS, if nobody minds. And it was, excuse me, oh boy. Right now, there was a game that was actually tonight in the league, and it was Toronto over Philadelphia Union 2-0. And that was the only game on schedule for tonight. But there's plenty of action of that tomorrow, and they'll also start right now. Just to give you an update on the NBA game here, the Warriors now lead 71-58, 6:50 and change to go in the third quarter. I will be keeping my eye on that, of course. Wow. All right, so now the MLS schedule for tomorrow, and it runs down like this. For your Saturday games. Oh, June 9th. There we go. And starting off early at 12:30, as NYFC will take on Atlanta. The Columbus Crew will take on my Red Bulls at 5 o'clock. Vancouver takes on Orlando at 7. Chicago Fire takes on the Revolution of New England at 8:30. At 9 o'clock, the Houston Dynamo take on the Colorado Rapids. At 10 o'clock, Seattle takes on DC United. 10:30 games are LA Galaxy takes on Salt Lake. Portland takes on Kansas City. And San Jose will take on the Los Angeles Football Club. We call them LAFC. All right, so that takes care of all that. So now we'll get on to the news items of the day. And it goes down like this. All right. Women's final is all set, as Sloane Stephens will face on Simone Halep in the women's final, which will be French Open, which is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And the men's final, of course, will be on Sunday. As we get down to the end of this. All right. Angels tweet pitcher Ohtani was placed on the DL with a strained UCL on his right elbow. The team announced today he will go on the disabled list and listed with a grade 2 sprain of his UCL that indicates a partial tear in the ligament. Ohtani had the injection PRP and stem and stern cells, which can be effective in treating the injury. The Angels said he'll be re-evaluated in 3 weeks. Ohtani was removed from his start after 4 innings on Wednesday night from a blister in his right pitching hand. Oof. It's going to be rough. Houston Texans safety Andre Howe has been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. The team announced today, and Howe is undergoing testing and evaluation at the MD Anderson Cancer Center. And was given a preliminary diagnosis from the team doctor. Howe is entering his 5th season in the NFL, all with the Texans. He signed a 3-year deal with the Texans in August of 2017 and played all 16 games last season. And we certainly wish him well. But remember, folks, it is not a death sentence. So, give it with the treatment. Hodgkin's lymphoma, the treatments have come a long way from they have been 50 years ago. So, just pull for him, and he's going to be okay. Any horse racing fans and enthusiasts out there? Well, tomorrow's the big day, folks. The Belmont Stakes is tomorrow. This is going for the Triple Crown for Justify. Justify was gearing up for final workouts today at the Belmont Park in New York, along with a horse called Smooth. That's his name. Both were doing final workouts for tomorrow's race, which is about 6:30 p.m. And once again, Justify is the odds-on favorite to win. So, will we see history being made tomorrow night? We shall find out. 3 in the last 5 years. It's amazing. All right. President Trump told reporters today that he will not invite either team of the White House to the White House, regardless of either the Warriors or Cavaliers winning the NBA championship. On Tuesday, LeBron James said that neither team would accept as the winner of the NBA Finals. The president made the remarks before departing for the G Summit in Canada. Trump also addressed NFL players on the issue of the national anthem. He said, "You should not go into the locker room when the anthem is being played," he said. Trump said, "You will also consider applications submitted by players who participated in the protest during the anthem." Okay. Continuing on down the line here. Warriors fans, you can relax a little bit now. All-Star forward Kevin Durant says he's staying with the Warriors next season, as he told Rachel Nichols of ESPN last night. Durant is finishing the first year of a discounted 2-year, $51 million deal with the Warriors. That included opt-out clause for 2018-2019. He said, "I'm planning on staying with the Warriors, and we'll figure out the rest later." Durant said before adding that only the small details need to be worked out. In April, sources told Chris Haynes of ESPN that Durant would decline his player option and would become an unrestricted free agent this summer, so he could re-sign with the Warriors. On a restructured deal. He took close to $10 million less than what he could have earned on a max salary last year. Agreeing to such terms allowed him to retain with forward Andre Iguodala and forward and point guard Sean Livingston. Sources told Hayes that there were no real incentives for Durant or for the team to take a major reduction in pay this time around. Well, I'm just going to stay right where he is. All right. The Vegas sportsbooks avoided a huge payout as the Knights lost to the Capitals, while the Vegas sportsbooks still had to pay out millions of preseason to Golden Knights futures tickets that Bears took as odds as high as 500 to 1. The potential loss was migrated over several months. This is our biggest liability on an event that had a realistic chance of winning since William Hill won back in 2012. William Hill, director of trading Nick Bogdanovich, told ESPN the estimates were around $5 to $6 million. That sounded about right. When executive director of Race and Sports, John Alaveo, an industry veteran, agreed, telling ESPN this was not my biggest liability, but it was significant. Fear not, though the lights will remain on Vegas, in the Vegas sports books, as odds makers have plenty of time to offset the risk of those preseason Golden Knights wagers. Oh, boy. All right, and speaking of the Capitals, Capitals owner Ted Leonsis said thousands of people were partying in the streets of Washington last night after winning the Cup. No kidding. And he said the victory parade will be bigger than what most people expected. Leonsis said the Capitals have been careful to avoid talk of a parade even as they entered the elimination game against the Knights. But with the Cup secured, the celebration was well underway. The trick for the teams and the NHL will be in the city, and federal permits needed to hold such a massive celebration. Speculation has run from the Capitals holding the celebration in the streets around Capital One Arena or RFK Stadium or the National Mall. With Leonsis would not rule out as a possibility. To be honest, the next few weeks will be all about the city, the fans, and the players. He said the amount of respect the Stanley Cup gets, says there's nothing like it in any other sport. We have a lot of work to do, but we will try and make it very family-oriented. And unlike other celebrations that teams win the Super Bowl, there was no reports of any rioting in the streets last night of D.C., because when the Eagles won theirs, there were cars flipping over, and I think they set fire to a few of them. It was mostly a peaceful celebration, and even the news media got into the act too. Oh my goodness. It was hilarious. They have won Game 5. Police did block off F Street, and announcements were made about the last subway train. Many fans ignored the pleas and just kept on partying throughout the night on the steps of the Portrait Gallery and in bars surrounding the rink. A few fans did climb light poles and one even scaled up the nearby Dragon Tower. Oh boy. This is Washington's first pro championship of any kind since the Redskins last won their Super Bowl in January of '92. That's pro championship, not counting college sports or anything. Oof. So that's not bad. Just amazing. All right, so now we'll just check a few of the other scores here. Right now, it looks like Golden State is beginning to run away with this game, as it's now 84-65 with just under 2 minutes to go in the third. What can I tell you? All right, so now we'll just check some baseball scores here. We'll hand it back over. Couldn't make a game of it. I just don't believe it.
The Warriors are a team.
I know, but you'd think that Cleveland, especially at home, they would try to make it, at least competitive. I mean, they're drowning.
First tonight, at first, but now look at it.
Yeah, it's like, what the?
Well, yeah.
I'm in shock.
LeBron is losing it, and I don't.
That's true. That's true. All right, Cardinals and Reds are still on delay, with the Cardinals still leading 6-4. Top 9 now. Astros lead the Rangers 7-3, with the runner on first and one out. Barnett is pitching in. Springer is at bat. Not Jerry Springer, but Springer. Bottom 7, Angels lead the Twins now 3-2, 2 out, nobody on. Alvarez is pitching and Rosario is at bat. Top 8, the D-backs leading the Rockies now 7-4. Rusin is pitching and Mathis is at bat. Bottom 4, the Athletics lead the Royals 4-2. Junis is pitching and Davis is at bat. Top 4, the Dodgers are leading the Braves 2-0. Bueller is pitching and Abeles is at bat. And there's no hits right now for the Braves either. Interesting. and all the rest are in a final. All right, that takes care of my notes for the day, so I'll hand it back over to you.
All right, again, a shout-out goes to 910 AM Superstation WFBF in Farmington Hills and Detroit for allowing Jeff Moss and Steve Neavling to talk about how bad the media is in Detroit and the sensitivity of Donald Trump. Yeah, he's a mental midget. That said, before we sign off, we want to remind everyone to share this episode and our entire podcast on social media and have their friends share that as well, because we want to tell them that the Michigan Sports Truth, a proud supporter of the Detroit Sports Rag, is searching for a wider audience that is fans of sports, especially our teams in the state of Michigan, because we go deeper than just the games. So please spread the word about the Michigan Sports Truth podcast on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts via iTunes, its Facebook page, and its Twitter handle at Michigan_Truth. For Louis Tenore, I'm Taylor Phillips. We'll talk to you sometime either 11 or earlier. Follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. Thanks very much for listening, downloading, and sharing. TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The hosts of the Michigan Sports Truth podcast do not take any suggestions or criticism from any member of its audience on how it should be run. It is up to the host to decide what they want to cover. They also do not intend to be any amount of popular in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Additionally, the views of the audience, right or wrong, do not reflect the actual truth revealed on this program.
Mission complete.